Leading stories tonight, troops of Operation Hadinkai and Multinational Joint Task Force rescue 6 women from Boko Haram and ISWAP on the fringes of Lake Chad. Borno State Government inaugurates 300 road marshals and traffic management agencies office in Maiduguri. Also on the news tonight, 400 victims of rainstorm in Biu receive 40 million naira emergency relief from federal lawmaker. It's always a pleasure to have you join us on NTA Maiduguri News at 7. We're reaching you live from our studio this Thursday, the 21st of April 2022, which is also the 20th of Ramadan 1443 after Hijrah. I am Abubakar Musa. Let's now begin the news in details. Troops of Operation Hadinkai, in conjunction with troops of Multinational Joint Task Force, have rescued 6 women abducted by Boko Haram and ISWAP during ongoing joint operations Desert Sanity and Lake Sanity on the fringes of the Lake Chad. The rescued women have been brought to Headquarters Theatre Command, Operation Hadinkai in Maiduguri for medical evaluation and reuniting them with their families. Let's now get more details of this story from Maimuna Garba.
I was captured on 18 December from Menok to Maiduguri. We have really suffered, but we thank for the Nigerian army. They have gone and rescued our life.
I'm from Kwekusa local government, Borno State. On my way back to Maiduguri, I was kidnapped on the 19th of October 2020. I was taken to Tebkin Chadi. It was hell for me on it. We do hard labors, insult, names calling.
These are some of the rescued women explaining their agonies while in terrorist captivity. They were kidnapped at different locations in Adamawa, Borno, Gombe and Yobe states between October 2020 to April 2021. Theatre Commander Operation Hadinkai, Major General Christopher Musa said the joint operations Lake Sanity and Desert Sanity is recording tremendous successes as the insurgents are being decimated on a daily basis. He said apart from the ongoing offensive to clear the theatre, the military is rescuing many hostages, pointing out that they are not relenting till all the criminal elements are degraded within the theatre and shores of the Lake Chad.
These ones were taken and we were not aware. No information got to us until they were rescued. So it is important when something happens, people should learn to report to the police, and once you do that to the police, it will get across to us. Wherever the insurgents are, we will go after them. And all those they are holding will ensure that we free them so that they can come back and live a normal life.
The rescued women will, after undergoing all necessary investigations by the military, be handed over to the Department of State Security Service in Maiduguri, from where they will be reunited with their families. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
And in other issues on the news, Managing Conflict in Nigeria program of British Council has completed training of stakeholders for demobilization and reintegration of ex-combatants into the society. The month-long training intervention was funded by the European Union. Abdul Zakari was at the closing ceremony of the training.
The de-radicalization and reintegration program of the federal government began in May 2021 following the surrender of 1,000 insurgents, where it has encountered both successes and challenges. According to some of the participants, says Borno State has seen about 70% reduction in hostilities following surrender of over 50,000 combatants and their families. The communities returning to normalcy still have concern about reconciliation with repentant terrorists. Managing Conflict in Nigeria program of British Council, funded by European Union, has successfully carried out month-long training for 200 key stakeholders in mostly Jere and MMC communities. Facilitators of the training appreciated support of the Borno State government to ensure success of the program.
And this intervention is a complementary support to add value to what the state government has been doing.
Participants of the program acknowledge efforts of the organizers and promise to step down the training down to grassroots.
In fact, we have benefited a lot. We have got information or knowledge on DDR and DRR and the role expected of a traditional ruler in the reintegration proper in Borno State.
Stakeholders from ministries, departments and agencies charge participants to contribute their quota in proffering solutions towards making Borno State once again home of peace. In Maiduguri, Abdul Zakari, NTA News.
Now, Borno State Government has inaugurated 300 trained road marshals and Office of Borno State Traffic Management Agency (BOTMA) to enhance revenue generation and sanity on the roads within Maiduguri Metropolitan Council and Jere local government areas. The Chief of Staff to Governor Babagana Umar Zulum, Professor Isa Husseini Marte, performed the inauguration at the State Mechanical Workshop in Maiduguri. Iyamaji was there.
It could be recalled that 3 years ago, Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, through the Ministry of Transport, established Borno State Traffic Management Agency (BOTMA) to checkmate criminality, ensure discipline, sanity, reduce road accidents, and also to dignify the tricycle operations in the state. Representative of the state governor, the chief of staff, Professor Isa Marte Husseini, who inspected parade by the marshals, described the young talented men as disciplined, dedicated and committed, saying with their performance on ground, there is no doubt that the set objectives of the state government will be achieved.
Discipline is very important aspect of our lives, because if we don't have a structure, if we don't have a disciplined society, we don't have a society.
Commissioner, Ministry of Transport, Dr. Abakar Tijani, who extolled the leadership qualities of Governor Zulum for actualizing the dream of the ministry by creating BOTMA and inauguration of road marshals, assured of more revenue generation from the agency. Representatives of UNDP and Managing Director, Girko Technical Engineering Services, Engineer Abdulmumin Musa, thanked the state government for partnering with them and assured of more support that will enable the state government execute essential projects. General Manager BOTMA, Baba Shehu Tijani, and Chairman Husseini Bulama, as well as some parents, commended Governor Zulum and Dr. Abakar Tijani for their commitment and call on all to reciprocate this opportunity by putting in their vests. Some of the inaugurated road marshals expressed appreciation for the opportunity given to them by Governor Zulum and assured to work diligently in Maiduguri. Iyamaji, NTA News.
Let's now take you to the southern part of the state. 400 persons whose houses and other property were damaged by rainstorm in Biu town have received 40 million naira as disaster relief from the federal lawmaker representing the area, Mukhtar Betara Aliyu. The distribution of the emergency relief package to the victims of the rainstorm was performed by the Emir of Biu, Mai Mustafa Umar Mustafa, at his palace. Jadwa Jesni.
Heavy rainstorm that heralded the commencement of the season wreaked havoc in Biu town and outskirts, damaging walls, roofs, and other property in its wake, prompting federal lawmaker Mukhtar Betara Aliyu to send in emergency relief to support the victims. The distribution of 40 million naira, 100,000 naira each to 400 victims was flagged off by the Emir of Biu, Mai Mustafa Umar Mustafa. The royal father described the humanitarian activities of Mukhtar Betara Aliyu as not only touching the lives of the people of Biu or his constituency, but the entire southern Borno. According to the Emir of Biu, everything the lawmaker has done are practical, real and accessible for anyone to see, and thanked him for the huge intervention in support of the victims of the rainstorm. Vice Chairman, Biu Local Government Council, Alhaji Hassan Pindar Biu, had informed the royal father that a 5-man assessment team worked round the clock to establish the number of affected persons, numbering 400. The vice chairman praised Mukhtar Betara Aliyu for always responding to all issues affecting his people, in addition to his unrelenting execution of massive developmental projects. From the Emir of Biu's palace, the distribution continued across the wards, with some of the beneficiaries expressing gratitude to the federal lawmaker for the timely response, promising to use the money to repair their damaged property. In Maiduguri, Jadwa Jesni, NTA News.
That report was actually put together by Jadwa Jesni, though it wasn't written here. Let's move on now. Ahead of the 2023 general elections, Mohammed Ali Jajari has declared interest to contest for the upcoming governorship election on the platform of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Borno State. Umaru Kirawa reports that the PDP governorship candidate, or aspirant rather, made his position known amidst hundreds of party loyalists and stakeholders.
Muhammad Ali Jajari, a young businessman and expert in the field of economics, whose experience in both private and public sector has been for years with successful narratives, is here amidst hundreds of supporters, stakeholders and well-wishers to declare his intention to aspire for the 2023 Borno governorship election, creating sustainable opportunities for youth and women, as well as ensuring security of lives and properties, in addition to effective leadership, is what the aspiring Muhammad Jajari said prompted him to blow his trumpet under the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Borno.
We will give them a strong opposition like nothing has been seen before. This will be a new face of PDP in Borno State.
The political party PDP, according to stalwarts, is ever ready to reposition Borno and the nation with result-oriented personalities on a more secured and development-driven path for the overall growth of Nigeria.
I would like to call on particularly the youth to select somebody that has the capacity, someone that can transform Borno State. And I think Muhammad Ali is equal to the task.
Muhammad Ali Jajari, the 2023 PDP governorship aspirant, and his team were also at the Shehu of Borno's palace, where the royal father blessed them and assured to support all and sundry for the betterment of the state. In Maiduguri, Umaru Kirawa, NTA News.
And away from that, the last 10 nights of Ramadan holds greater significance, as it is the time when the night of Par, otherwise known as Laylatul Qadr, falls. Yagum Subuka reports on its significance.
Ramadan is one of the most important months to Muslims and a time of increased worship, spiritual cleansing, good deeds and acts of charity. The last 10 days and nights of the holy month hold even more significance, as they are full of greater rewards and blessings, as well as a chance to reap from the benefits of Ramadan and seek salvation.
For the last 10 days, always people engage themselves in doing salat and nafilas and all other acts of worship to be increased, especially during the night. The whole night you make it alive. That is, make it a lot of a salat. Some do 20, some do 10, some do 8. So it depends on how you can do. But at that very night, if you are lucky, if Allah's favor, you will see the night of the power Laylatul Qadr.
Imam Jafar Imam revealed that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam during this period exerted himself more spiritually, such as going into isolation in iktikaf to dedicate time for worship. In Maiduguri, Yagum Subukar, NTA News.
And just before we leave you, do remember that you can watch most of our news via YouTube by simply subscribing to NTA Maiduguri Channel 10. Up ahead are the translated versions. I am Abubakar Musa. Do have a good night.